You're Sarah Pizzuto.
And you're Caleb Noble.
And where are we right now?
We are in the new and improved Justin's Lounge on top of the Coliseum.
And who's running it this year?
Eventnix is actually running it. They're hosting events all week.
And it's complimentary drinks and food. Each night there's a new host. Howie Schatzberg's doing one, the National Horseman, the Morgan Horse, and Style Horse Reports. So it's going to be some great stuff happening up here this week. And they're encouraging people to come up and have a good time. So if you're at the show or coming, make sure you come up and check it out. So who else do we talk to?
We talked to Freeman. They have a very exciting new halter out.
And we also talked to Tony Lee, who's the chair of the 2015 Morgan Gray National. And we also caught up with Mike Carpenter. He talked us through a 4-year-old mare's class. Which would be pretty good to watch because he's got a lot of insight. He's silent but deadly. And so check it out. It's going to be a great night. See you later.
Tune in all week long. We'll be here.
Be motivated. Be dedicated. Be fun. Be successful. Be fulfilled. Broadmoor. Being all you can be.
Mathis Brothers has something for everyone, no matter where you're at in life. Whether you're moving to college, starting a family, or when you finally build that dream home, you'll find a complete range of price points and styles, and in every category. Many of our customers are second and third generation because the relationship we build with you and your family lasts a lifetime. The largest selection, the best value, from our family to yours, for over 50 years. Only at Mathis Brothers, guaranteed.
So I'm here with Tony Lee, the chairman of the 2015 Morgan Gray National here in Oklahoma City. It's great to have you here with us today.
It's great to have you, Caleb, and it's great to have Horse Show Wire again this year doing commentary and a pre-show. We're looking forward to it.
Cool. So can you tell me a little bit about preparation for Oklahoma? What goes into that? Because I think a lot of people don't realize how much work really goes into it.
We have a committee of about 16, 17 people. We'll actually start 3-4 weeks after this show in November with our first meeting where we get together and we start planning for the next year. So a lot of things you see here, we started last November.
Oh, wow.
So, and we meet again in January for 3-4 days. We have a great committee. Everybody has certain jobs and they get them done. So pretty much preparation goes on all year and everybody has their specific tasks they take care of.
That's cool. So we talked before we go on camera about the medallion. Can you tell me the story about the medallion?
Moretta Kennedy designed the medallion for us. The last time I was chairman was 2011. Each year the chairman gets to pick an artist to do some sort of art for the cover of the program. I talked to Moretta and she had this idea of this huge medallion at the end of the ring, so we went for it. She also has a smaller bronze version that you can buy that's really cool, but this one's made out of fiberglass, and it's been a huge hit.
I know there's some new things happening here at Grand National. Tell me a little bit about what's happening.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice, we've renamed the lounge, the exhibitors lounge, which is above the Gateway of Champions. We've named it Justin's Place in honor of Justin Morgan. And we have Event Mix working for us this year, and they are organizing activities and fun things each night during the show to try to get some people to hang out up there and try to get people to come to the ring and not hang out at their barns and come where you can see the great horses show right in front of you. So that's one thing we've done. I've tried to encourage people to dress up this year. Friday, Saturday night, championship night, we're encouraging everybody to wear their best and have fun and just come out to support the best of the best, which will be showing in the ring, and our world champions will be crowned for another year.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the Silver Possibility. What happens with that?
Silver Possibility is a program that has grown each year. I think everybody identifies with the golf cart. We give away a golf cart every year. You can buy Silver Possibility tickets in hospitality. There's all kinds of prizes, gift certificates, dinners at restaurants, items from our vendors that are in the concourse, and each night you get a key for a golf cart, and at the end of the week one lucky person will have a key that actually works, and they'll take home the golf cart. So this year we also have a Del Chavez saddle. We'll be showing that off in the lounge on Saturday night. And we just have a lot of great prizes. And then we have a party on Thursday night. And if you purchased a ticket, Silver Possibility ticket, you are admitted free to the party. And we're going to have a Calcutta, which I'm not quite so sure how that works, but Cindy Meunier has it under control.
Cool.
And those of you that know her, she knows how to have a good party, so
yeah.
It'll be fun.
The Young Adult Alliance is a new group that's formed in the last few years here, for Morgan Horse. So tell us about what they're doing here this week.
They had bull riding competitions at various shows last year and again this year, and we're happy to say they're going to have their final bull riding presentation on Friday night in the warm-up ring here at the show. So some of the winners of this past season across the country are going to try to compete and see who's the best of the best there.
That's cool. So Morgan Grand National is becoming something that trying to be a lot of fun, and it's just getting people energized to be here, come up to the ring, and just a lot of team spirit and a lot of fun.
That's exactly right. That's what we would like. And with all these great horses, we're up in numbers. So we hope everybody will come out and sit in the stands and cheer and have a great time.
Yeah, well, it's looking to be a great week, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you, Tony, for talking with us.
Sure, no problem.
And good luck this week. You got a lot of weight on your shoulders, but you're going to do a good job at it. So
thanks, Caleb.
At C. Jarvis Insurance Agency, we have a heart for horses and for the people involved in their care, breeding, and training. The Jarvis Agency has been owned and operated by us, a family of horsemen, since it was founded. Since 1946, we have taken a personal interest in the lives and livelihoods of horse owners and equine entrepreneurs, giving us a unique understanding of the needs specific to horse owners as well as those in equine-related businesses. Through our International Bloodstock Agency, we are able to insure your family, friend, or your multi-million-dollar stallion with individually tailored policies that cover your exact needs. Whether your investment is an American Saddlebred World Champion gaited horse, Morgan Grand National Park horse, Cobtail Hackney pony, or a backyard companion, C. Jarvis provides the very best coverage available. And our unparalleled service allows us to offer equine coverage not only locally, but nationally and internationally. Jarvis Insurance Agency provides total insurance protection for ranches and farms, as well as major breeding and training centers responsible for hundreds of horses and clients. Now we have taken our coverage a step further to you, the professional or non-professional horseman. Our new worldwide accident policy covers injuries on or off the job, indemnifying you with weekly compensation. Our number one goal is to provide you with the best possible service. To attain that goal, we employ a staff of professionally trained agents who share our commitment, our knowledge, and our expertise. For details, check us out on the web at www.jarvisinsurance.com. Then give us a call. We'd love to help you protect your equine dreams.
The Morgan Weanling Gala, showcasing the future of our Morgan breed. The only event in the nation focused on weanlings, their sires, and their breeders, with the largest single-class payout in the Morgan world. History has proven the Morgan Weanling Gala showcases not only the top weanlings, but also the show ring and breeding stars of the future. And now, you can join these great stallions as we look to the future. Be a part of the Morgan Weanling Gala.
We know Oklahoma's morning people. You take your breaking news before breakfast. You want your weather before your workout. And you try to beat Sky 5 out the door. Oklahoma's own Ariel and Abby, getting you informed so you can get on with your day. And nobody's more accurate than Brad's first alert forecast. Join us tomorrow and see for yourself. Morning news for Oklahoma's morning people. KOCO 5 News in the morning.
It's Caleb Noble with Horse Show Wire, and I'm here with David Friedman of Friedman Harness. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Caleb.
So whereabouts are you located?
We're located in Toronto, Canada, and our retail and our warehouse is in Midway, Kentucky.
So it's a far stretch of area.
590 miles and an 8.5-hour trip if all goes well.
Tell me a little bit, how did you get started in the harness making business?
My grandfather came from Poland to Toronto in 1910, and he was the fourth generation in our family to make harness. My great-great-great-grandfather made harness for the Polish and Russian Tsars, and harness making has been in the family since 1802. And when my grandfather came from Poland to Toronto, he settled his roots and started making harness for the streets, mostly wagon harness, dray harness, delivery harness. And World War II came along, and there wasn't going to be much need for harness after the war. And my father was born in 1926, and he saw a different need for the harness. He saw show horses coming along. He saw different breeds, show horses that were coming to the Royal Winter Fair, hunters, jumpers, hackneys, Morgans, saddlebreds, Arabians. And he decided that he wanted to strike out and try and make harness for those horses. He was fortunate enough, my late father, to have a mentor that made harness and worked in the Chicago stockyards, a very old friend of my grandfather's named Eddie Godfrey. Eddie Godfrey was my grandfather's right-hand man, and he taught my father how to make show harness and carriage harness and all the fancier types of harness that we make today.
Always located in Kentucky, like your production, or is it in Toronto?
All the production's in Toronto. We've been in Kentucky. This year will be our 10th year anniversary of a warehouse and a retail. And we've been in Toronto since 1910. Our workforce is there, our families are there, and we've always built everything there.
What does a typical day look like in Toronto for your workers?
Well, we build a lot of different products, and we have a fairly large crew, and we build everything in teams. So we're either building saddles, we're building harness, different groups, tail sets, bridles, brow bands, handbags, travel bags. So everybody's working on different jobs and in different little teams, little cells. And that's how we get through the day. Some projects take a month, some projects take a week, some projects take a day. It's all handmade, and depending on availability of raw materials, different leathers, different orders, different sizes, that dictates what the production is going to be. Also different time constraints from different delivery points.
Do you work on new concepts, or do you talk to trainers and think of different ideas of, okay, this might work?
Yeah, it's a little bit of my nature to be a product developer and have a reputation for developing product constantly, and it's the way that I think, something that my father passed down to me. And I spend a lot of time talking to trainers. I spend a lot of time on the rail at horse shows. I think a lot of people see me watching morning, noon, and night, watching horses go around, and I'm always thinking, how can I get more tools in the toolbox of trainers? How can we improve riders' confidence? How can we make sure that people have a better time doing what they're doing, and just the overall well-being of the horse? So I'm constantly developing new product, trying to enhance older products.
And how big is your workforce that you have?
Right now we're at 15, and we're going to be bringing 3 more in next year for our new Nightwatch program.
Well, tell us a little bit about what Nightwatch is, and we'll talk to Jeff in a little bit.
Nightwatch is a halter that is monitoring your horse's well-being, and it's a project we've been involved with for just over a year, and we've been building electronics into the actual halters and going through the whole development curve and development process to make sure that this is comfortable, non-invasive, and of quality for horses.
So it's innovative, just like you.
A little more innovative because it's involved. There's a lot of electronics involved, and we don't have a lot of electronics involved in the harness shop. We have newer machinery, but nothing obviously to this level.
So what drives you?
I'm a driven person by nature, and I like the people of the industry, and I like the horses, and I like what I do, and that's what gets me up in the morning out of bed and gets me to the next day.
If somebody wants to learn more information about you and your business, Friedman Harness, how would they do that?
There's quite a bit of information online at our website, friedmanharness.com. We do quite a bit of blogging and posting and a lot of product videos and other little snippets that we can put together. So we're working on a new catalog this year that we're having a sign up for right now of handbags and accessories and travel bags, and we're working on another one in 2016 for show horse equipment.
Thank you so much for talking with me. I'm going to talk to Jeff next about the halter, and good luck with this week. And if anybody at home wants to learn more information, go to friedmanharness.com, and David's the man. And I'm sure if you have any questions, you can call him. Any ideas you want to run by him, I'm sure he can give you some great insight. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Bill.
I was just talking to David Friedman about harness making, and he was telling me about Nightwatch, and I'm here with Jeff Schaub, the innovator and creator of Nightwatch. So Jeff, tell me a little bit about your product.
Sure. Well, thanks, Caleb. So Nightwatch is a health monitor for horses, and it's being offered in the form of a smart halter, as I'm holding here. This is a labor of love, started a little over 2 years ago. We lost a horse to a torsion colic, and despite doing all the right things right as far as watching these animals, we can't always be there. And so this technology is designed to be on your horse when you are asleep at night, when they are traveling on a van, or maybe in a very large pasture.
How does it work?
So within the crown of the halter, which as you heard is being designed by David and his team, is technology. Monitors the animal's vital signs, so the heart rate and the respiratory rate, as well as behavioral patterns. And when our algorithms determine that there is distress, the cellular technology will send an alert to a mobile device for early intervention.
Do you have to charge it? How does that work?
You do. Our power studies right now are bringing this in about 5 to 7 days of normal use, which is overnight use. Every 5 to 7 days you'll have to be charging. So it works through inductive charging, which is similar to a wireless toothbrush in that it will hang on a cradle and it'll charge in 3 to 4 hours and be good to go. We've hopefully cracked the code for solving one of the biggest challenges. Equine colic is a leading natural cause of death in horses, and we believe that through earlier intervention we can save many horses' lives.
The reason you got into this is because you lost a horse.
Yeah, I'm a biomedical engineer by training. I spent 15 years in human healthcare, but have a passion for the horses. And yes, a little over 2 years ago, we lost a horse, and it was the catalyst of a series of events, which included speaking with David to say, would it be possible to integrate and embed technology within the crown? And here we are today with the goal to bring this to market in 2016.
That is great. How has it been, the trial run's been for so far?
It's been good. There's 2 parts to the story. We're building a company, but we're also testing a product. And so we've been able to identify the right partners in this. We're working with Haggard in Lexington, Kentucky to do some of the clinical validation, working with a group of researchers in New York as well. And last year we sponsored a research grant with Rochester Institute of Technology, who did a lot of the analytical work that we're now harnessing.
Hearing what you're saying, there's a lot of research that's gone. It's not just an idea that you just threw out there and like, hey, check out your horse's, vital signs. Like, you've done a lot of research in this.
Absolutely. Anyone who knows me knows that I am very diligent and I cover all my bases. And so we want to present empirical evidence for people to make better decisions for their horses. This is not a Fitbit. This is not just something to aggregate data and give you a warm and fuzzy feeling. It's here to save your horse's life by notifying you when you can't be there for early intervention.
Especially when you have a big investment. And a lot of these horses is a big investment for people.
Absolutely. I mean, the monetary value of these animals is secondary to the emotional investment. Every animal, it means the world to everyone, whether it's a recreational animal or a performance show or race animal.
And if somebody wanted to buy one of these special halters, how would they do that?
So when it's available, and our goal is to have special pre-orders starting January of next year, it'll be through our website, so nightwatch24.com, and everything will be through that central web portal for technical support, customer service, and ordering.
So I'm here with John Fan of Event Mix, who's taking over the Justin Morgan Lounge up here above Ring. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your story with the Morgan horses?
Okay, I'm John Fan out of Chesterfield, South Carolina. We own a company called Event Mix. We do a lot of saddlebreds, Morgan shows throughout the country. We do a lot of hospitality, rebranding, if something has kind of died out, we bring new energy to it and have a really good time with it, and hope everyone's excited for this year, what we have going on.
So how did you get involved with the Morgan Grand National?
The actual committee and Tony Lee, we've known them for quite a while, and I've been doing work at some other Morgan regional shows with hospitality, and Broadmoor is one of our customers, Gold Cup, Southern States, Blue Ridge Classic. We take care of a lot of those shows, and I guess over time you get noticed if you do a good job.
We were talking to Tony a little while ago, and he was saying how excited he was to have you guys on board this year.
Well, that's great to know. But no, we actually have a good working relationship with Tony, and he puts a lot of trust in us, and we always try to bring new energy to things. When we do it, we try to make it as top-notch as possible.
Yeah. One of the things Tony was saying is trying to rejuvenate people coming up to the ring and really enjoying and seeing it from ringside.
Right. You will not get any better view of a horse show than what's offered right here at Grand National. The hospitality that we do here, we have complimentary drinks, build your own Sunday for the kids. We have all kinds of new stuff going on. I feel like the energy will come. It's just we got to get people up here to see what this is all about.
Yeah. So this is free to come up here, correct?
It is free. We have a host throughout the week that has picked up complimentary drinks and snacks throughout the week. We have Indian Creek celebrating their 25th anniversary up here. We have a lot of publications that have stepped up this year, and looking forward to working with all those guys.
Tell me a little bit about each night, the hosts that are going to be hosting each night.
Okay, on Saturday we have Sipping with Saddles, which is basically have complimentary sangria, and it's we're working with the Silver Possibilities, and we'll do some tickets up here, sell some tickets to try to rejuvenate a different area, maybe for sales and things like that. We have snacks and stuff too tonight. As far as Sunday goes, it's Sunday Fun Day, which is build your own ice cream sundae. So that's on Morgan Grand National, hosts that also. For Monday, Celebration of Champions, we have some flyers that will be autographed by previous champions. We have some artwork and things like that that'll be up here that will be put into the Silver Possibilities and drawings. Tuesday we have 25th anniversary of Indian Creek. They're really excited to be hosting that night. We will have beer and wine complimentary.
Yeah, they're a good time. So
they are a good time. And let's see, Wednesday is Halley's Hump Day. If you know Hallie Schatzberg, we kind of partner with him on quite a few things, and he's a nice guy, and
he's another good time too.
He is a good time, man. He does a lot of stuff for the industry. He works really hard.
Yeah, he's got a great crew.
He knows how to have a good time too. So definitely. Glad to have him on board. As far as MGN Uncorked, we have National Horsemen on board for the first time this year. They're fairly new in the Morgan world, and
they made a real push this year in the Morgan industry.
Absolutely, they do everything top notch and take things to the level it needs to be at. Friday, Salute the Past. That'll be Saddle Horse Report. They've been around the industry for quite a while, so we expect nothing more than a great time from those guys. Yeah. And lastly, we have Saturday Cheers to the Future, which is hosted by the Breed magazine, the Morgan Horse. We do have a signature cocktail for that night, and just hope everyone will come up and join and check out what all the new things that we have to offer.
It's exciting for us at Horse Show Wire to see this happening and getting more people up to the ring, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, we appreciate it, and hope to see everyone up here.
Be motivated. Be dedicated. Be fun. Be successful. Be fulfilled. Broadmoor. Being all you can be.
Mathis Brothers has something for everyone, no matter where you're at in life. Whether you're moving to college, starting a family, or when you finally build that dream home, you'll find a complete range of price points and styles, and in every category. Many of our customers are second and third generation because the relationship we build with you and your family lasts a lifetime. The largest selection, the best value, from our family to yours, for over 50 years. Only at Mathis Brothers, guaranteed.
I'm here with Raleigh Bowers, and we were up here in Justin's corner.
Justin's corner, that sounds good.
And Silver Possibility is hosting tonight. So tell us a little bit about the Silver Possibility.
Well, Silver Possibility is an event that we have every year. And we go out and we get various prizes from the people in town, like the motels and the restaurants and various other businesses. And then many of the people who are the vendors at the event, at the horse show here, will also give prizes. And we sell tickets. And then they have drawings throughout the show where those people get those prizes. And that's kind of a really sought-after event. We give away probably 150 prizes at least.
Wow.
And during the show. And then we have some very special prizes every year, one is the golf cart, which is the grand prize. And you'll see that down in front of the warm-up arena, down by the show office. And that's always really sought after because that's a wonderful, wonderful gift. And then this year we have a second prize, which is the saddle, which you'll see later here over to my right.
Looks like a lot of silver over there.
It's a lot of silver. It's a very nice saddle. And people were wondering why we didn't give something more Western oriented for those people who don't need or want a golf cart. So this year we have this wonderful saddle. And it's a Dale Chavez saddle. It's one of a kind. It has the Morgan horse emblems all on the sides of the saddle, which you'll see later. And that's something that makes it different than any other saddle ever made. It's one of a kind.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with the Morgan horse, and how did you get involved with Silver Possibility? And
oh my goodness sakes, that dates back a long time ago, because I think they've had, I'm not mistaken, this might be the 44th Grand National, and I had been to every one but one. So, and that was the year that my daughter was born in October, so I missed one. So I think that's legitimate, I think.
Wow.
And then my wife used to train and show horses here, and then when she passed away, I continued to come here and work with the Silver Possibility and other events because this is where all my friends are. So it's an annual fair I look forward to.
It's like a homecoming.
It's a homecoming, no question about that.
Cool. Well, if anybody wants to come and see you, I'm sure you'll be up here all week, pretty much.
I'll be up here. I'll be in the showgrounds all week, and they can also get tickets at the hospitality booth, which is on the main floor of the Coliseum down underneath. And we have tickets here. We have tickets which are $10 a piece, and they are 3 for $25. Or 6 for $50, but I'm kind of running a special tonight. There's 7 for $50 tonight, or 13 for $100, and it goes on up from there. So the more tickets you buy, the better price you get.
And it all goes to a good cause.
It goes to a very good cause. It helps support our futurity, which later in the show you'll see classes which are, futurity kind of deals with you where you put money up in advance, and then you show your horses, and then you win the prize money. And we have, starts out with the halter classes for young horses, and goes on to 2- and 3-year-old performance horses. So you have 3 years worth of chances to earn money. And I appreciate the new event that we're having here where we're promoting it from this level of the Coliseum. And we're very honored to have this first night of the show to be including us.
And there's free sangria up here, so.
Oh, and yes, it's very good. I had some.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you around this week.
The Morgan Weanling Gala, showcasing the future of our Morgan breed. The only event in the nation focused on weanlings, their sires, and their breeders, with the largest single-class payout in the Morgan world. History has proven the Morgan Weanling Gala showcases not only the top weanlings, but also the show ring and breeding stars of the future. And now, you can join these great stallions as we look to the future. Be a part of the Morgan Weanling Gala.
We know Oklahoma's morning people. You take your breaking news before breakfast. You want your weather before your workout. And you try to beat Sky 5 out the door. Oklahoma's own Ariel and Abby, getting you informed so you can get on with your day. And nobody's more accurate than Brad's first alert forecast. Join us tomorrow and see for yourself. Morning news for Oklahoma's morning people. KOCO 5 News in the morning.
So in our 3-year-old stallion class, this is HK Dickie DeVille, shown by Stephen Longo for Heidi Kunkel. Dickie DeVille is by SYP High Definition and out of MCS Norma Jean. Next up is Clay Hill Affirmative and Marin Magdi for Linda Sheridan of Grass Valley, California. Clay Hill Affirmative is by A Winter Day and out of Wide-Eyed Innocence. Right here we have Ledyard's Lucky Lucis, shown by Lynn Peoples for William Haynes in Ledyard Company of King Ferry, New York. Lucky Lucas is by Astronomically and out of Greywood's Epona. This 4-year-old stallion is Sunny Acres Alakazam, shown by Will Vidler of Akron, New York. Alakazam is by Sunny Acres Magic Man and out of Arborea Witchcraft. This 5 and over stallion is Dragon's Meat Icon by Mizrahi and out of HVK Obsidian. Next 5 and older stallion is Spring Mill Superstition, shown by Spencer Day for Seagrass Farm. Superstition is by Nostradamus, now Treble's Unclaimed Melody. Next 5 and over stallion is WRR Astro Boy, shown by David Earhart. Astro Boy is by Astronomically and out of Whispering Without Question. This 5 and over stallion is Callisto Mayday, shown by Christian. Mayday is by Olympus Way to Go and out of Abacus Molina. This 5 and over stallion is Queen's Glory Days, shown by Selvin Torres. Glory Days is out of Queen's Romeo and out of Queen's Newport Summer. Next up is RDF Bell Ringer, by Stand and Deliver and out of Cedar Creek with Bells On. Owned by Robert and Deborah Stevenson. Here's a look at our reserve world champion. It's HK Dickie DeVille. In-hand stallion, it's Dragon's Meat Icon, who also won this class in 2010. Congratulations to the Foos and Dragon's Meat Farm. So I'm here with Mike Carpenter of Mike Carpenter Staples in Sutton, Massachusetts. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, thank you, Caleb. It's good to be here.
So we're going to be talking during the 4-year-old mayor's class, English pleasure class. We're going to get some insight from you. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. I love the junior horses.
So we're here in our 4-year-old mayor's class with Mike. Mike, what do you look for in a young horse, especially a junior horse?
Well, with a junior horse, pleasure horse, I like to see a horse, a young one. She's going to put her neck up, get going right down the rail. Want her to push off her back end and send everything forward. And and I'm a little critical on young ones if they're really not cool about their job, because they're only 4 and they got to last a lifetime. And if they're one that's looking up through his bridle, her mare class, pushing off her back end, that's one that's I'm gonna go with. She if she can't put her neck up, be happy about her job. We certainly don't want her in the broodmare band, and they just have I want them to be somebody. Push square, like where they're going. That chestnut right there, I think you have the camera on. Yeah, that's pretty nice there. I like where she's going. She's looking through her bridle. Pretty crisp off her trot there.
6 entries into the gate column for our 4-year-old English pleasure mares.
So as a young horse, what are you looking for? Like, say you get a 2-year-old in the barn, right? And how do you assess a young horse like that, or what its career might be?
Well, a lot of it is where they're going to put their neck, and again, they have to have a pretty strong back end, because the neck is up in the air. 85% of it's on that back end, and so there again, if you push them too quick when they're young, you're going to wear out the back end before they get there. And few they can swing it, but again, I want a horse that's going to last a lifetime, not just a couple years. I want him to be a show horse for a while.
So how do you get a horse prepared to get a stronger hind end? I know a lot of people jog horses. Like, what do you do if you have a young horse that see a lot of potential? What kind of things do you do with it?
Well, you don't always work them with the neck up. I mean, they got to track right, and if they're not tracking right, then they're not going to be happy about the job. But one with like I said, with the neck up and looking up through their bridle, pushing off their back end, those are the ones that are going to, get you where you want to be down the road.
And in terms of working a young horse, do you long line them more, do you drive them more, riding, or is it a mixture?
I start one in the long lines, but I'm not a big long line person, because it's a small circle going round, small circles. I would prefer to get one to the buggy and jog one, but I have to say, I have a 1.5 mile track, and we spend a lot of time on that track, just straightaways and just jogging outside. They're fresh and they like it, and rather than going round circles all the time, because they do that in the show ring. You have to spend time in the round circles, but boy, to condition one, I was taught that if you condition one on a straightaway, on a track, and you go for a good 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles, a good brisk trot, and you're not too winded when you're done, you're ready for a horse show.
And when you start a horse, the cantering a horse, right? What do you do? Bullpen? Do you teach them in the long lines first, or how do you normally do it?
As a matter of fact, a lot of mine, if they're not really a 2-year-old harness horse, I'll teach them to canter in the buggy rather than cantering with the weight on their back, because that's 2 adjustments that they have to do. One is they have to canter. It's a different gait that you have not let them do when you're breaking them to harness, but then also they have to learn to canter with weight on their back. And so once they're used to pulling the buggy, I'll canter them in the buggy and canter and learn how to, bend circle, go around corners and all that stuff. And once they canter good pulling the buggy or on the long lines, then I get on their back and canter them riding, because then there's another adjustment, because, carrying around 150 or myself more pounds, it's an adjustment for them. It's a lightweight breed. But I like the 192.
So what do you like about this one, Mike?
Well, look, she's still looking pretty crisp up there through her bridle. A little hitchy around that corner, but I mean, she's the only one that stayed right up there, and still she's as strong off her back end as she is the front end. The other horse on that rail, no. Yeah, so this is a pretty nice class. So, 4-year-old mares, they all look like they have some potential. I don't see one in here saying, "Boy, I hate my job," because the girls can be a little temperamental on occasion, and when they get to where they don't like their job as a 4-year-old, boy, oh boy, are you in trouble down the road.
Now, we're watching all the horses walk. Do you find that teaching your horse to walk at a young age is imperative for the rest of their career?
Oh, totally. You gotta walk before you run, and if you can't just relax and walk, no matter what seat that they're gonna end up in, they have to. It's a 4-beat gait, and just relax. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk, walk, walk.
So, Mike, I wanted to talk a little bit about your history. Tell us a little bit how'd you get involved in the Morgan horses and your story, where you're from, things like that.
I myself?
Yeah, you.
Well, truth, I always admired the equine, the horse, and I had young parents, and they said that once we had property and a little bit of money that I could have a horse, and we moved out in the country from a subdivision that we were in, and some neighbors across the road had saddlebreds, and we lived on a dirt road, and this lady riding this horse up and down the road, saddle seat with the neck up, I fell in love, and I just said, I gotta do this.
You've been doing it ever since. So where have you been? I know you're at Kohler for a little while.
When I started, when I was a kid, I worked for Theora Cromer in Michigan. She's a saddle horse lady. I cleaned stalls and whatever. I worked for Pierre Loisel for a short bit. I worked for Claude Moret at Whitmore Farm for a while. And then I went to Kohler in my early 20s, and I was there for 10 years. And it was a great 10 years. I experienced everything that the horse business has to offer. It was great. And but 10 years was long enough.
Yeah. So now you've been doing your own thing for many years now in Sutton, right?
Yeah, I've been on the East Coast for almost 25 years now, and it's home. It's all right.
So what drives you other than the New England Patriots, anyways?
Go Patriots, beat Dallas. Well, I love the Morgan horse. My horse has always been my very best friend. And they still are. I walk through the barn at night, and they're my friends. They're my family,
What division do you like showing in the best?
I seriously, truthfully, I love the park harness. I love to drive a horse. One of my idols when I was a kid was Hoss Cartwright from Ponderosa. Now, this is talking way back, but that man sitting in that buggy and driving horses, I said, I loved it, and of course I love sitting in the 4-wheel buggy. It's a thrill. I like all of it. I like I love the babies. Of course I have a disease of raising babies, but the harness, the park harness is my favorite.
Well, thanks, Mike, for coming and talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, it was great. I hope it goes.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Good job and good luck this week.
I appreciate it.
Hopefully we see you in the winner's circle.
All right, thank you, Caleb.
Be motivated. Be dedicated. Be fun. Be successful. Be fulfilled. Broadmoor. Being all you can be.
Mathis Brothers has something for everyone, no matter where you're at in life. Whether you're moving to college, starting a family, or when you finally build that dream home, you'll find a complete range of price points and styles, and in every category. Many of our customers are second and third generation because the relationship we build with you and your family lasts a lifetime. The largest selection, the best value, from our family to yours, for over 50 years. Only at Mathis Brothers, guaranteed.
I'm Sarah Pizzuto with Horse Show Wire, here with Will Vidler of Sunny Acres Farm in New York. Will, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Today we're going to be talking about the English Pleasure Stallion and Gelding 4-year-old class. So this is the Grand National English Pleasure Stallion and Gelding 4-year-old class. Will, tell us what you look for in a junior horse.
What I like to look for in an English Pleasure horse is a nice clean throat latch. I like to see their neck coming out of the top of their shoulder to help them set up in the bridle. And a big thing at the junior horses, I like to see them very balanced and moving off all 4 legs.
Now, how do you go about training this type of horse? Do you do like long lining? Do you jog them?
We do a lot of groundwork. I believe in groundwork because you can see the horse. You can adjust the smaller adjustments than sitting on their back and riding them over and over again.
Now, these horses may eventually go on to be paired with an amateur or a junior exhibitor. How do you prepare your horse for its future job?
I like to keep them very soft in the mouth. I know these amateurs, they're not very strong. So you like to make sure that the horse is capable of doing the job without being held in position.
You're a big breeder. Tell us about your breeding program.
First thing my family likes to do when we go to breed horses is we believe heavily in a pretty face. I mean, the Morgans for ages is about how beautiful they are and elegant. So that's the first thing we look at, is pairing them up with a pretty stud and a pretty mare. And then we like to make sure that we're breeding for what is competitive nowadays, and that's something with a nice thin throat latch and the neck coming out of the top of the shoulder, like I referred to earlier.
And what do you look for when you choose the stallions and mares that you breed with?
Type. I mean, the Morgan breed is always about type. You know, and we're not big believers in the big stretchy type. We like to stick towards more of the Morgan, and we had great success over the years with breeding.
So I understand you have a lot of stage rage in your breeding. Why do you have stage rage in a lot of your breeding program?
Stage rage has always been a big fan in our family, just because his natural ability of being a powerhouse trotting, and he's so elegant the way he carries himself.
Tell us about some of the best horses that you personally think you've bred.
Some of our past champions we have sold, and they've moved on to be world champions. Some of my favorites were Sunny Acres Ebony Knight, was a park saddle horse, moved into parade horse by Art Perry. We also, a Western world champion was Sunny Acres Shameless. We've also had amazing eck horses. Just recently, as of last year, we sold Sunny Acres Sneak a Peek to Mary Carlton, and she had 2 world championships with her in the equitation hunter division.
I remember Sunny Acres Can Do is a cool horse too you guys bred. Sunny Acres Can Do.
Yeah, Sunny Acres Can Do was a beautiful horse. He's one of the biggest horses back in the day, but now everyone breeds for size. And I think with people being bigger, size is a big important part of our industry.
Now we're on the reverse in this class. Is there any particular horses that you think are looking really nice?
Oh, they're all very nice.
Tell me a little bit about that Lucky Lucas horse that Lynn Peoples is riding. I mean, he's been very successful in the last couple of years. New England, he won that $10,000 breeders class. He's a very pretty horse, typey, and pretty close to the breed standard.
Well, just like you said, Caleb, his biggest thing is he's very typey. It's what the Morgan industry likes to pin. Lynn Peebles has been doing it for years. He's great with putting his horses in the bridle. His horses move off all 4 feet, and he's very consistent with his training.
There's another person that's had a successful breeding program over the years as well.
Oh my God, Lynn has countless world titles with his horses and his breeding program. He takes note in what he crosses, and the following year, you know, what doesn't work, he doesn't continue to breed to, he moves on, and it's apparently working for him.
Wall plates.
So when I asked Mike Carpenter this before, like, how do you teach a horse to canter?
How do you teach a horse to canter? You know, start with a lot of groundwork, a lot of circles, and then I believe in going in straightaways to adjust their speed, you know, controlling their speed on straightaway. You can't show in a round pen, so you like to teach them on a straightaway. But this is a very lovely class. All these horses are very competitive. Now, many horses are making any mistakes. I think the judges are going to have a hard time in this class.
So tell me a little bit about the history of your farm and your parents.
History of my farm. I am a 3rd generation at my farm. My grandfather started the farm, but my grandfather started with standardbred racing. As my parents moved into the farm and my grandfather retired, they decided that they would like to move into the Morgan industry in the 70s. And ever since the 70s, we've been breeding Morgans, and I'm carrying on the tradition in the 2nd generation of the Morgans. And I absolutely love working with Morgans because they're willing to try and they want to please everybody.
And have you been stationed in New York your whole life?
The Sunny Acres Farm has been stationed in New York all its life. I have been traveling around and worked for several different people because I'm a big believer in the more people you work for, the more you can learn. And you can never stop learning in this industry of being better and making your horses better. So I did travel around a lot in my early 20s. I worked for Arboria Farms. I've worked for countless people out in the Midwest. And I like to travel in the winter and work for other farms and just learn. Like I said, if you could keep learning every day, you're going to get better.
So our winner is Ledgefield Sovereign Sun. What do you like about this horse?
Well, what's great about this breeding on this horse, it's a full sibling to Queen's Romeo. Cindy is doing a great job, and it is a very pretty horse.
All right, well, thank you for speaking with us and watching this class with us.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm having a great time in Oklahoma.